How's it going, everybody? I am Donut, and I'm here with...
Thermite.
I have seen all South Park up to season 20-something.
I have seen absolutely none of it. I forgot we did this.
Yes.
It's been a while.
This is the thing we do now.
Oh, boy.
This episode is episode 9, Mr. Hankey the Christmas Poo.
What?
Yep.
I do remember seeing a poo on the intro.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. There's pretty much anything you're going to see on one of these episodes probably in the intro now that I think about it.
Okay.
I'm going to, just... They shove so much in that intro.
Yeah, seriously.
So, let's jump into it.
Also, this is like 3 holiday episodes in a row.
Yeah, we had, which one did we start with? Because we had the Thanksgiving episode was the last one.
Yeah.
Start from, what was the first one? That was the
Halloween
one. Pink eye, right. Halloween, Thanksgiving, now we're getting into Christmas. Yeah. Okay, I fucking hit the space bar right to stop the episode, and it was on the fucking thing and stopped the recording. Gotta stop hitting the space bar to stop or play the episode. But, so, yeah, we missed out the Jesus scene there at the end. But, there was an after credit scene with Jesus being all sad because nobody came to see him on his birthday.
It was a good one.
But yeah, so what would you rate this episode?
Oh, boy. It was a really good episode. I guess I'll give it a 9.
Okay, 9 out of 10?
Yeah.
What was your favorite joke of the episode?
Favorite joke? Oh, boy. Like, there are a lot of good zingers in it.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure what my favorite joke would be either. Well, actually, I think my favorite joke is the just recurring joke of like, Kenny, go do this incredibly dangerous thing. Kenny, go do this incredibly dangerous thing.
That was really good.
And at the end, just, him cheering when the credits happen.
Like I've said repeatedly in South Park up to this point, surprisingly early to do that.
Yeah. They play with those jokes really early.
Yeah.
Also, my hat is like back up to being huge again. I gotta get the proper South Park attire. It's gotta look flat and bulky.
I guess my favorite would probably be, like, the musical when it was happening.
Okay, like the, which version? Like the new, not the one we started with, the cold open, but the
new
the
one.
non-offensive version.
It was so high strange.
Yeah, it was very art project-y.
Yeah, I was really hoping we'd see more of it. I mean, I guess it was all going to be just like that.
Yeah, I guess it was going to be much at all. The, like, completely gray skin leotards over their colorful, like, hats still that they're wearing, or, like, Kenny wearing his parka under it still.
The fact that he put Kenny in a white parka in the first version of the play was
to be an angel.
Amazing.
My rating for this episode would be a 4 out of 10, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I think that actually is seeming to be a case for a lot of these of, like, some that you really like, I tend to not really like that much. But other than that, I think our scores have been about equal.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know what it was about this one. I just, not as many of the jokes landed for me. I really liked a lot of the songs.
Okay.
And I just like the musical aspect of it in general. But a lot of the actual jokes of it, I think the just first half in general was pretty slow.
Okay.
I think even, like, for both of us, we didn't really laugh or say much for the first few minutes of it, really.
Yeah, would agree.
But, yeah, I like the concept of Hankey. This also might be on a rewatch. Like, you're seeing this for the first time. You were also like, I don't know if this is real or not.
Yeah, because they really could have gone either way.
Yeah. Originally, when they did this, they wanted it... So, this was an idea for a short that they wanted to do a long time ago. Specifically, Trey Parker.
Okay.
He grew up... here, I have it written down. I think it was his parents told him... What was it? Oh, nope. I am on the wrong one.
No.
Yeah, it was his father that used to tell him if he didn't flush his Mr. Hankey, that it would come to life and kill him.
So much more extreme.
Yeah. But, so they wanted to just make, like, a 3-minute short film of a kid who, believed in, talking poo, and it would play out exactly the same way this episode played out, more or less, probably without the B plot.
Okay.
But play out more or less the same way, except at the end it was going to just turn out that he was crazy.
Okay.
But they didn't want to do that specifically because he hated Snuffleupagus on Sesame Street, the fact that he was imaginary. He always felt sad for Big Bird. So
Yeah.
he was like, I don't want to have, the character have an imaginary friend, so I'll make Mr. Hankey real.
Okay.
But yeah, this was like before they had any idea of what they wanted to do with South Park, even before the shorts they actually did. This was what they had in mind at this episode. They also said that they wanted this episode to be able to hold on its own as a Christmas episode, like as a Christmas special.
Right.
They said they rewatched the Charlie Brown Christmas special like a ton of times in preparation for this. I think that might also be the problem because, as I said, I don't like Christmas. I don't like holiday specials in general.
Okay.
I tend to not be a fan of them. Like the whole tradition of like, oh yeah, we watch this movie every Christmas, whatever. Like I can never get into that. I cannot do that. Yeah.
Okay, because I would say this was a good Christmas special, in the sense that, like, I could see myself watching this every year.
Yeah, you're a very festive person. You're very into
Yeah.
traditions and stuff like that, so I can see you liking a holiday special a lot more than I would.
Yeah, it is designed in a way where, like, I could see rewatching it like, I think a good Christmas special has to be very rewatchable. In the sense that, like, the beats are good, they're there, you gotta have the songs, because, songs are inherently enjoyable on repeat watching.
Yeah, that's really the thing that made this even a 4 out of 10 for me, was just the repeatability of the songs, but...
Yeah. I mean, also, that commercial...
The commercial was great. That was a fantastic joke. I forgot about that.
It took me so off guard. It wasn't... It was enough that I was about to ask you, like, is this file wrong?
Yeah. I can definitely see that. Yeah, it definitely reminds me of the Aquabats with, Gloopy and stuff. I love just cutting into, having a commercial play in the actual series for anything. What else do I have here? They wanted Hankey to resemble Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie.
I could see it in the face.
Yeah, with the gloves and everything, too, I
think.
He's definitely got that vibe. Like, they wanted him to have a very cute face, but not like, like Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse. Like, not fully cutified Mickey Mouse. And they originally wanted South Park to be starring Mr. Hankey. As in, it would be the 4 kids and Mr. Hankey.
Oh, boy.
As the main characters. But they brought it to Fox, but they would not let them have Mr. Hankey as the main character or as an episode or concept or anything. And so they were like, probably a bad idea to have him be a main character. Also, not going to really work great for a show. It was a funny idea, but they're like, well, just... and they reworked him into a Christmas character. He wasn't originally supposed to be a Christmas character.
Okay.
But, they went to Comedy Central, and in the meeting with Comedy Central for South Park, Trey said, one thing we have to know before we really go any further, how do you feel about talking poo? And I just have, the executives were receptive to the idea.
What a perfect way of phrasing it.
I love Wikipedia phrasing. But yes, with this episode, the popularity boomed again for the show. With this and Starving Martin, both characters were like very iconic characters for South Park. You could see them all over merch and stuff like that. This episode this episode was very popular, and thus Mr. Hankey became a very recognizable character outside the show. Even if you didn't know, like, you would be able to see Mr. Hankey and be like, that's South Park, as much as you would be able to see, like, Cartman and say, like, that's
Seriously?
South Park. Yeah.
Wow.
Howdy Ho is probably, like, one of the most recognizable South Park, like, just things to, like, throw out, like, a phrase to say or whatever, or see it on merch or whatever.
Okay.
Mr. Hankey was incredibly popular, like, immediately when the episode came out, even. After this episode, not really right after this episode, but around this time, and with the past, like, few episodes, celebrities kept calling in nonstop to get roles and everything. People were calling this episode and the whole. Did I say this? Yeah, this episode. Never mind. Just this episode, instantly infamous for the fact of it being a like somewhat cutesy, normalish Christmas special with a talking shit walking around. Like, I guess we haven't really talked about that much, but this was pretty extremely gross out at the time.
Yeah.
Like, extremely disgusting. Yeah, like it people were saying that, it was so gross that people had to watch it. Like, people that didn't even, watch South Park had to see it just for the spectacle of a TV show that had a talking shit character.
Right.
That's just walking around smearing shit everywhere, shit being thrown at someone's face and their coffee mug and stuff like that. And it's like, that's in so many movies now.
Yeah.
It's just like common slapstick humor, but it was so, like so gross at the time. Like, I equated it to, like, the Train movie, but with shit.
Okay.
Like, the train coming at you and people are freaked out in theaters.
Right.
It's that sort of thing, but with, grossness.
God.
It's so hard to imagine now people, like, watching it and being outraged and everything. I mean, not really outraged. Nobody was outraged at this episode. Like, they thought they were going to get a little bit more backlash, but, they didn't really get a whole lot of anything for this episode. Well, for the Christian stuff, but nothing for the, shit side of things.
Okay.
So yeah, the themes of this episode and everything. Let's talk about that.
Definitely that feeling of isolation you get when you're a Jew during Christmas.
Oh, absolutely. Like, is that a big thing? I mean, I guess I'm not sure. How is it? How is the religious tone? I don't know what I'm saying. Tone. I mean, breakup up here. Like,
Okay.
Is it primarily Christian in Canada? Like, in your schools, were most of the children Christian or atheist or Jewish or whatever?
I'd say it was, like, pretty Christian leaning, kind of agnostic, though it's not as Christian as a lot of American public schools seem to be, because we do have, like state-funded Christian schools or Catholic schools.
We do too. We have a ton of those.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the big thing of most, like, Catholics or, like, extremely Christian people would be putting their children in private schools and everything.
Okay.
And while most kids, I would say, are Christian, it was Christian in the terms of just, casually Christian.
Okay.
Their parents are Christian, but it's not like they would really believe in much of the beliefs or anything as a child. They'd be like, oh, I'm a Christian, but, what does that mean? Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, like, because we have a Catholic public school system, a lot of people who are, like, even... I mean, I guess not, like, super casually Christian, but if anyone, like, seriously believes, I know a lot of people would just be like, hey, let's move you to the Catholic school. Just because it's about as much effort as going to a public school.
Yeah.
And, there's that general idea of it being probably better education.
That's, true. Like, I think that's also, there's not... Surprisingly, when I think about it, there's not that many, like, poor Christians now when I'm thinking of it in my mind. Or I guess there are. But it's a big spectrum of, they're either pretty, well off to be able to put their kid in a private school, or they're pretty bad, like trailer trash, I don't see a lot of, like, lower middle class Christian people.
Okay.
Like, hardcore, strong in the beliefs of it.
But yeah, I'd say, like, it was definitely, like, 40 to 50% Christian in most classes, and then the other half was just, a mix of other ethnicities or, religions.
Okay. Because, I would definitely say, like, it's probably extremely different just all over the place in the country as well.
Right.
But where I grew up, I mean, it's probably much different for me, because especially for my elementary school, which is what this is, primarily about, so that's what I'm trying to draw from, was mostly black. So being Jewish, there was a lot of the, like, you were, like, there was one kid who was Jewish and red hair, and it's like, you're Jewish, you got red hair, a white kid, that's just, you're gonna get the, no one's gonna be your friend. And so it was a lot of that, of, like, Jewish on top of, like, being very few white kids in the school also. So, that was definitely a lot of exclusion of Jews.
Okay.
Especially during Christmas time. Like, I think it is way more of a Christmas thing than, like, throughout the year, there's not as big of a thing of, like, exclusion from Jews in school. As far as my experience, it was way more towards the holiday. Easter, Christmas, any Christian holiday, really. And I wouldn't say it was making, like, it was always usually making fun of him. We're like, haha, we get out of school and you don't. I mean, I guess it's not true, something, but, like, that we have more holidays or we get more gifts. Not like we get out of school, but, we get more gifts. Or Hanukkah, you get shit gifts. Like, like Eric said, you have all these days where you're getting gifts, but they're all, no one ever comes back from Hanukkah like, look what I got. So you always make fun of that kid because,
Yeah. I guess at our schools, like, it was a mix of, like everyone got, like, the Christian holidays off. But then if you are a Muslim, then you also get, like, Muslim holidays off, like Ramadan and whatnot.
Yeah.
/ the schedule is a bit different because of fasting and stuff. So it was usually the Muslim kids who had, like, the extra bragging rights of, like, oh, yeah, we've got extra days off. And then everyone else was just the others.
Yeah, I can see that being a lot more of a thing up here.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely didn't. I'm not sure if I even had like any Muslim kids in my elementary school or middle school at all. But yeah, I can imagine it being a much bigger thing up here. What else do we have? The PC-ness and just religious sensitivity for like anything. I mean that's goes on every single year. Time and time again. There's not much to be said. I mean, like, I guess, what is your, like, stance on it for holiday stuff in general? Like, I am for the separation of church and state and all that. I get that argument. But at the same time, I think there's certain iconography, especially with Christmas. Christmas is such a hard one because it's become so unreligious.
Right.
And so I think as long as there's no distinctly religious iconography, right? If it's Santa, if it's, as long as there's no Jesus, as long as there's none of that kind of stuff, then I think it's fine to do in a school. And in general, I think it's fine. Either way, whatever you want to do. If you want to say Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah as an employee, as a whatever, as just a normal person on the street, I don't care what you say. I don't care if you say Merry Christmas. I don't care if you say Happy Holidays. I don't care if you say Happy Hanukkah. I'm just gonna say, don't talk to me.
The ultimate holiday tradition.
I mean, hey, as someone who worked in the customer service, every time anybody ever said Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, a customer to me, my response was always, I mean, that's my response to most people after their order's done. Just, Just
okay.
a no word, just response of just goodbye. I think that's my holiday greeting. Goodbye.
But yeah, like, I'm very much a let and let live kind of guy. Like, as long as it isn't, I guess that's the main thing. Like, I'm even fine with quasi-religious iconography, as long as it's not, like, subjects.
See, like, I'd be fine with crosses and stuff like that. That's why I said, like, Jesus, when you get to Jesus, that's a little bit more, like, when you have Buddha in the play, when you have, when you have your figure of your religion coming out in the play. I mean, he's not the figure of the religion, but it's close enough.
Right.
He's basic. I guess, is Jesus the figure? Like, I would think God is, but I guess Jesus is actually the figure.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to depict God. That's a no-no.
Yeah, so it's like Jesus is the figure.
Yeah.
But, I think that's my main point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though, like, the, Joseph and Mary and all that kind of stuff, even then I'm like, it's a little, like, it's baby Jesus, so it's a little bit better, but it's also still like, also, I don't know, it seems just like a weird thing to do. I don't think a birth is just that good of a play.
It does feel very strange.
Yeah. When that happens, it's less about the iconography, it's more just, it's the iconography mixed with the fact that it's a birth, and it's like, I'm not into that much,
Fair enough.
Thanks. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It really is a sliding scale. There's no hard line, really.
Yeah.
Do whatever the fuck you want to do, really. But I think, I do understand when it comes down to schools, more of a, like, I think schools should definitely have a stricter separation of church and state, But, you can only do so much.
Also, very good joke early on in the first run of the play with the whole, Kyle can't play Joseph.
Yeah.
Why would you let a Jewish kid play Joseph?
Mr. Garrison is I love him. I'm just like, there's no way to, like, place his, like, his racism, or, I don't want to call it race. I mean, it's definitely racism. Yeah. He has to get rid of the Mexicans. But, it's just all over the place. It's just general hate of everything.
I'd place him as like a chaotic neutral border on chaotic evil at times.
Yeah. I just chaotic, like, insane, really. Like, I'm not sure he even has any kind of leaning. Yeah, I guess that's all I have for this episode.
Okay.
Yep, that's it. We'll
Good
see you guys for the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, get the fuck out of here.